Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Jump In podcast with me, your host, John Thomas. It's been a minute since I did the last broadcast in August, and it's been a busy time for me. Really excited to get an opportunity to share with you all what I've been up to and what's going on. And really talk about an exciting topic that I think everybody who's in business or even looking at starting a business um, can benefit from. So what's new in the world that I'm operating in? Well, let me just tell you. You see me wearing my Eagles gear, so football season is back. I'm excited again. We're in the season already, and my team, the Philadelphia Eagles, are 4-0. They're at the top of the food chain, and everybody who's coming after them is getting handled one by one. And it's not looking pretty all the time, but a win is a win. And as Jalen Hurts always says, our starting quarterback, that's all it's about is winning, right? And so again, I'm excited to be a part of it and to share my fandom with all of you. And I'm also excited to share my business and the things that I'm creating that have made a difference for the lives of myself and my family and for thousands of people around North America. And those folks have taken that work into the world, and I'm excited about what they're able to accomplish. But today's episode, I'm going to talk about a topic that's near and dear to me. Again, I've been in business for myself since 1998 as an entrepreneur. Started out as a consultant, working with corporate and city and state agencies and even federal government agencies in many different ways, helping them solve problems. And it was great. It's a great opportunity. I definitely use that skill every chance I get with the people I work with now. But I'm mostly, for the last 15 years, I'm excited to share my 15-year anniversary. Happened in July of this year. And I've been, a life, business, and relationship coach and a trainer of other coaches around the country. So, again, reaching a higher level of coaching when you actually train other people to do exactly what you do or do their model of coaching and be successful at it. Um, there's a lot of different things that go into creating a business and, successfully operating a business. And for the last 20 something years, 25 plus years, I've been operating my company. It started out as an ideal and a shoestring budget and has, grown to be able to support me and my family for decades. And I'm looking forward to one day being able to pass that on to my children. Again, if they choose to take over, it'll be there for them. And, so how we do that is you gotta know that in order to be in business, you gotta make a commitment to build your business. And once you build your business, you gotta continue to recreate it, rebrand it if you have to, build it, continue to expand it, and look for opportunities to pivot if you have to. Now, for me, I've had the opportunity to create different brands underneath the umbrella of my company, which is J. Thomas and Associates LLC. And I'm excited because there are times when I launch new services or new products, and when I do those things, I don't really think about like how I do them. I just do them because it comes natural in some cases to me. Um, but I know it can make a difference for a startup or for a new entrepreneur or for someone who's just getting into their concept. This is a topic for today's discussion: is getting your new and your existing or your existing business really going, using what I call a real visibility strategy. And it's something that had worked for me to keep me out in the limelight, using social media and other platforms. I've launched products, I've launched services, and I'm excited to have the opportunity to share some of those things with you today. Now, when you talk about getting your new or your existing business going, you got to talk about using the opportunities that are available to you. And one of those things that's available to folks is launch and or relaunch events, right? Giving people the opportunity to see what you do in person or to participate in activities that you are about can happen, when you set up these events, right? And the success of any business launch or relaunch, it will require a mix of exclusive events for your VIPs, any large scale open houses for the community, and smaller educational sessions that can highlight your unique expertise. Now, for the best results, your business promotion should be paired with the events to attract attendees and convert them into clients. Because again, if you're not taking opportunities you have to promote yourself or your business and turning those people into clients, then what's the point of doing the event? You're not out to just have the event just for an event's sake. Now, one of the ways that you can do that is through a business launch party. Now, a launch party or an open house is a staple event for building excitement and attracting a broad audience. Now, you can use a grand opening like many businesses do, or an open house, and it'll allow potential clients or customers to see your new facility or your new operation and meet the staff or the partners involved in a more relaxed or a social atmosphere. So you want to create an inviting atmosphere, maybe serve some light refreshments, such as a signature cocktail or a wine, pair that with some small trendy appetizers, right? You want to offer a live demonstration of what you do, or, showcase your services live, right? Maybe, again, something that's non-invasive treatments. If you're into, one of my clients is a plastic surgeon, so she can do injectables or laser procedures as an effective way to demystify the complex procedures that she's trained to do and build trust. So you can use those events to do that. And then you want to provide exclusive offers and or giveaways, right? Always give people something that they can take away, feeling like they've gotten something out of the time that they spent. So you want to use the event to offer any special promotions, any discounted treatment packages, and even a raffle for a complimentary service or gift certificates that you can offer, any free consultations. You want to give attendees a chance to meet with the experts that are providing those consultations to discuss any customized treatment plans that they may have or customized services they may need. There's another opportunity, again, we live in a world of influencers and VIPs, right? Very important people or very influential people. And so why not create a VIP or influencer night? This is you hosting an exclusive event for high value clients or local celebrities or influencers who can then generate the buzz and valuable word of mouth marketing that's needed for every business, including the one you're either starting or the one you currently have operating. So give people a sneak peek. Invite attendees for an early look at whatever your new space is and or any exclusive new treatments or services that you're providing. Give them the opportunity to see it before anybody else. I participated with my daughter near her birthday in a new Netflix house, right, which is opening up in the King of Prussia Mall, which is a huge mall near Philadelphia, one of the largest in the world. And they just basically provided an event for us to see what they were going to offer to people in the future and get our feedback. So again, using that opportunity for yourself or your business is a way to give people, an exclusive opportunity to see what you're up to and also, give them the permission to go out and talk about it to other people. And you look for ways to partner for cross promotions, right? Collaborate with other influential local businesses like a fitness center or high-end boutiques or even wellness studios if you're in the health and wellness field. Or like for me in coaching, I want to connect with, other, therapists and other people who are in the field of psychology or working with individual clients so that we can do cross-pollination of the work that's available to help people in the areas of where our expertise lies. Their participation, bringing in these, influential local businesses and cross partners, right? Their participation can broaden your reach and attract their clientele to even your business. So you want to provide a premium experience and ensure if you're doing a premium experience or a luxury experience with, make sure you elevate the next level, right? Catered events, elevated food, drinks, and decor. The event should feel special and exclusive to encourage, people to share on their social media posts and to really feel good about doing that. Another way you can use to get your business out there is educational seminars and workshops. You want to position your business or your practice or your work in your career you want to position yourself as an authority in your field. And this can be done by hosting informative sessions on whatever specific treatments or topics that you're an expert in. And, this is especially effective for more complex or misunderstood procedures that, for people who are in specialized fields, right? And you want to focus on specific topics, host specialized workshops on popular topics, right? Or, again, like in my client's case, I shared, she could share, facial aesthetics or non-invasive body sculpting, right? Things that people have questions about, curiosity of, but they may not know the details. And having, a board certified, plastic surgeon, who's one of my clients, be able to share that with them on a one-on-one basis in an exclusive setting, that could really make a difference, not just for the client, the potential client, but also for her business. Because again, she set herself up as the expert. And, as a coach, I set myself as an expert even on this podcast, which is my opportunity to share the skill that I have with a broad-based audience in a way that works. You might want to host a Q&A session, a question and answer sessions, following a brief educational presentation, right? You want to give people the opportunity to get their questions answered, and, maybe even bring in other experts to set as a panel. So it's not just you talking about how this could work for them, but it's also other people building credibility of your work by sharing their experiences and their expertise as well in the same topics, right? And those panel of experts can help you to build the trust and address any concerns that people have directly, right? You might want to, look for ways to use your existing client base or people who have benefited from your services and, share their stories or their testimonials. So find ways to get people who have already benefited from you in your business or will benefit from you in your business to share their testimonials, to showcase real results and to build people's confidence. You could also provide educational resources. Offer attendees valuable takeaways like ebooks or, detailed guides about whatever feature, procedures, or products that you're offering. Again, if you haven't spent time building those type of credibility pieces, maybe I'll do a podcast on just how to produce an ebook or how to produce guides so that you have those kind of takeaways that you can give to people. But there are folks who already are in business who have already done that work. And so again, I'm just reinforcing some of the things that could work for you as you launch or relaunch your business. And using social media contests. I'm big on, contests. I love contests. Look, my motto is if it's free, it's for me. So if you throw a contest out there where I can win something, and I feel like I don't have a problem sharing my information, my phone number, my email address, to put my name in the hat. So social media contest, before and during your launch, or a social media contest can generate excitement and rapidly expand your online presence. So don't hesitate to put a contest out there and give people something that they can go for that allows you to get their contact information, allows you to engage with them on a regular basis and build your list, right? Run a name that room contest if you have a new facility, right? You're building a practice of some kind. You can have them name the rooms as a contest. If you have multiple rooms or treatment facility, invite your followers to submit creative names for your business or for the type of business that you're thinking about doing. Allow them to feed into it and give you ideas. Those are things you can do for free, and people love. There's two things that I've learned in my lifetime that people love to do, and that's one, give their help, right? They love to help people, And number two, they love to give their opinion. So you want to make sure that you're using people for all their skills and abilities, and give them opportunities to feed back to you. If they win a gift certificate or recognition on your website, these little things help to promote, right? And then here's another idea that comes up in this generation, host a selfie promo. You invite your clients or your customers to submit a selfie after they've had their treatment or after they've taken advantage of your services. And you can then post the best photos and have followers vote on a winner for a special prize. Basically, what you're doing is you're encouraging engagement. You want to figure out ways to get people involved and get them excited about what you're involved in, and ultimately, transition those people to, becoming a client or a customer of your product or service. So how you encourage engagement is you might want to, run, surveys or ask followers for questions you can answer in upcoming live Q&A with your team or the people in your business. Another way to expand is to network with peers. I'm big on showing up at events that aren't even connected to my business, but just other events, because why? There are people there, and I'm in the people business. And there are other businesses that exist, or people who are in business that are operating consistent with what I'm up to, and I love networking with them. I'll show up at, business events or networking events, and it's an opportunity to continue to build your reputation and your referral network. It's important to continue connecting with other professionals in your field, always, right? And also think about, if you haven't already, spending some time attending professional conferences, both in person and virtually. During the pandemic, everything was virtual, so I showed up at seminars across the country, across the world, just using Zoom. And so again, you can attend these professional conferences. Some are free, some have limited, small fees, but figure out those meetings and conferences that give you the best opportunity to network with peers and build your connections. And then also look for ways to collaborate with other practitioners. I host lunch and learns for other people in my business. I attend lunch and learns of other businesses because I know there are people that I can cross-pollinate with. And so again, you can never stop learning. You can never stop giving yourself permission to learn. And so again, if you're collaborating with other people in your field or other people even outside of your field, just to create those cross referral and those partnerships, it's a great opportunity for you to build and launch and relaunch your brand. Now, I know I've gone pretty quickly through a lot of information. And again, if you want to find out more ways on how you can continue to develop in your business and expand your marketing and expand the ways that you reach people with what you do, then don't hesitate. People hire me to coach them to create whatever it is that they want. And, again, I'm looking for other people that are looking to accomplish their goals and their dreams and allow my skills and expertise to make that kind of difference with them. So I invite you to consider scheduling, the first 30-minute introductory coaching session with me is free. So you don't lose anything. And I promise you value in those 30 minutes. You walk away knowing that you've gotten something that could actually get you either started or inspire you to continue to grow whatever it is that you want in your life, in your business, in your relationships. I have the skill to work with anyone in all those areas. And so again, our coaches are available. And if you want to find out how to reach us, we use social media, Instagram. I coach, you play, the letter U. I coach, you play is my handle. Or you can email me or us at icoach, the letter U, play, PLAY, number 1 at gmail.com. icoach, you play, number 1 at gmail.com. And again, there are a lot of different ways that you can continue to expand and grow, but I invite you to just take on, one, if not all of those things that I shared, just take on one of them and begin the process of looking at how you can build that audience or build the market that you have for the businesses that you're in. And I promise you, if there's a famous movie, Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner. It was basically the premise is if you build it, they will come. So if you brand your business and you expand your business and you're committed to launching or relaunching your business and your brands, then use the tools that are being provided for you to do that. Give yourself permission to get out there in the world and, really engage with people. Because, I shared with people on social media, that are launching products or launching services, they have a negative connotation when it comes. They feel like they're selling people on something. Well, here's the deal: don't make selling wrong. Selling is a part of life. Buying is also a part of life. People don't make buying wrong. I buy things all the time. I just bought some drinks, sugar free, of course, to keep myself quenched. I buy products for my kids all the time. You buy services that you need. So if you're, it's two sides of the same coin. In order to be a great, buyer, you got to also know that there's people out there selling. So don't hesitate to be either or. If you're someone who spends money in the economy and purchases products and services from people, and I appreciate those folks who hired me to be their coach because they're purchasing my services. But I didn't have a problem selling myself to them or to other people that they know, because I know what I do can make a difference for them. I stand on my business and I stand on business when it comes to growing that and sharing with people. So don't hesitate to be comfortable either selling yourself or selling your product or selling your brand. There's nothing wrong with it. There's also nothing right about it. How about we take all that morality out of the conversation and just make it what it is? It's an opportunity for people to take advantage of something that they may want, or even if they don't know about your products or they don't know about your service, it's an opportunity for them to get something that they didn't even know that they needed or didn't even know that they wanted. But it starts with you getting out there, putting yourself out there, and giving your business the best opportunity for success by launching or relaunching into the public atmosphere and really giving everybody that has the ability to take advantage of your services or products the opportunity to see that you're out there and doing that. So, again, I'm always looking to expand. I'm always looking to grow. I'm looking for opportunities to improve the products that I offer to people, even though it's a one-on-one coaching session or a groups coaching session. I'm always in the back office looking for ways to make it better, or to get feedback from my clients that will allow me to take on to the next client and make that service that I provide them even better. So don't worry about how you are or where you're at, or if you've got enough people or you've only started and you don't really have a lot of experience in doing what you do. Everybody started the same at the beginning. So feel free to muck it up if you have to. And if you don't want to, have to go through all the lessons learned that it took me 25, 30 years to learn, because there was no such thing as coaching as a profession when I started my business back in 1998. I was one of the first people that started my practice in the work that I did back in 2010. It was just a fledgling idea in the industry. It wasn't even, certified at that point. People were just talking to other folks. And, I was one of them that had that opportunity to really begin to grow from scratch. And I loved it. I loved the opportunity that people gave me to make a difference in their lives, in their businesses, in their relationships. And they trusted me because of the credibility that I had built in the other things that I had done. I've been in the people business my whole life. I started as an entrepreneur as a young child. At 6 years old, I was selling my toys to other kids at the corner of my block with 2 crates and a piece of wood. And I'll share more about that in the next episode when I talk about, how to turn what you're up to into what you're into. And so again, if you liked what you've heard today, if you can get value out of these podcast episodes, please do like, subscribe, share. We're on all different platforms. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, you name it. Wherever you get your podcast, please do like, subscribe, and share it with others. And we're also on YouTube, so you can like and subscribe to us there. And again, if you have questions or topics that you want us to cover in episodes, this is the Jump In podcast. So jump in. Feel free to take an opportunity to, engage with me as a professional coach and business consultant and someone that can make a difference, right? I don't have a problem talking about whatever topics that are important to people and the work that they do. Right? Because I can help people get whatever it is that they want with the skills that I have. And I stand on that. So don't hesitate to, send us an email at iCoach, the letter U play, 1 at gmail.com. Or you can reach us on Instagram at iCoach, the letter U play at Instagram. Okay. So as we wrap up this episode of the Jump In with me, your coach, John Thomas, I'm excited for what the next episode is going to be, and please do tune in. You'll love the episode. You'll love what I'm going to share, because it's going to give you a little bit more about how I actually really got started, like even as a child, and how it's led me to be where I am today. And so again, for those of you who have been faithful listeners, I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you all in advance for sharing this episode with other people who you think can make a difference. And again, as I say to everyone, who is my clients, and even to all of you out there in the audience, you play games every day with your life, with your business and relationship, and I want you to win the games that you play. So go win the games that you play. Thank you.